Speaking of lawsuits and court cases, do you want to talk about none other than Mr. Sean Corey Jay-Z Carter?
Yes.
All right, y'all. So, Phil, you might have remembered that I spoke about this lawsuit to Jay-Z about 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
Jay Stradamus.
And I said that this lawsuit was going to get thrown out of court because it sounds like bullshit. Mm-hmm. And guess what happened?
Bullshit.
The lawsuit was dismissed with prejudice, which means they can't refile the lawsuit again against Jay-Z.
Oh, they can. It's with prejudice. That's like put some stank on it.
Put some stank on it. Put some of that thang on
I'm
it.
dismissing this lawsuit with stank on it.
That's like when you put like a little Old Bay on the seafood.
Oh,
little Old Bay and Lowry's on the seafood right there.
Shit.
Yeah, they put that on it. You know what I'm saying? You know, people are like, oh, you cooked this so good, you put your foot in it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the toenails and fungus all up in that. Oh, anyway, but the lawsuit was dropped versus Jay-Z. Also, I want to point out that not only the lawsuit was dropped versus Jay-Z, it was also dropped versus Diddy because they were co-defendants basically in this case.
Yeah,
in this lawsuit. So Jay-Z released a statement after the lawsuit was dropped, and the thing that frustrates me in Jay-Z's. Let me say this first. Jay-Z made a statement speaking about, how this lawsuit potentially damaged his good name in the public and a bunch of other things. And he's 100% right? Mm-hmm. But he also filed a lawsuit versus the lawyer specifically after this case was dropped. Reason being, pain and suffering, of course, because Jay-Z also mentioned in his lawsuit that, they filed that lawsuit and announced that lawsuit the day before Jay-Z was supposed to walk the red carpet with his daughter for the Lion King movie. His daughter's first movie that she's in.
Yeah.
And he had to make the choice to either stay home and, not be there for an important moment in his daughter's life, or be there and be ridiculed by the media. And as a father, I feel for him, bro. Another thing is too, man, that frustrates me about this Jay-Z lawsuit. Why is it that we were so not we, obviously me and you we knew where we stand on this, but yeah. Why is it that people on social media are so happy when Jay-Z, was accused of this and there's a lawsuit filed, but then no one is celebrating the fact that potentially and literally, no one was sexually assaulted? Why are we not supporting, happy about that part?
Because I don't think they actually cared about the assault. I just think they were just happy that a black man was getting taken down or trying to get taken down.
Ding, 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 ding. Yes, exactly. Everyone is so happy to see Jay-Z potential, quote unquote, potential downfall, even though we knew it wasn't going to happen. This lawsuit was bullshit from day one. And I called it on the podcast months ago when I heard about this lawsuit, and I spoke about it on this podcast. And a lot of people were in the comments talking about like, oh, well, you don't know Jay-Z. You're just a fan of his music, blah, 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 blah. Read the lawsuit. Tell me if it made sense. First of all, even after the interview that the young lady had with CBS or NBC, whoever the fuck did that bullshit ass interview with her, she said, and I quote, by the way, Phil, and I quote, that she met Benji Martin, forgot the dude's name from Good Charlotte. And coming to find out, Good Charlotte was in Ohio the night that she supposedly met them in New York City.
Damn.
And then supposedly she was, sexually assaulted in New York City, even though she lives in Rochester, and a friend of hers drove her 4.5 hours from Rochester, New York, which is on the other side of the state, to New York City on the night of the VMAs. And then she called her dad to come pick her up at a gas station, and her dad doesn't even remember that any of this happened.
Wow.
Now, I just hit my mic, sorry. Now, let me explain this. I am all for protecting victims, and I believe a lot of the times that there's a lot of people who are looking for a payday and use one of the most heinous crimes, which is taking advantage of young children to try to get a payday. We saw it happen with Michael Jackson. We're seeing it right now that just happened with Jay-Z. And of course, there's a bunch of unsung people who this probably happened to, who probably didn't have a popular or famous name that couldn't get the right lawyer to, get them off the case. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the thing that pissed me off specifically about this Jay-Z situation is Tony Buzbee, the lawyer.
Oh, yeah. And
let me speak about him specifically because he deserves to get his back kicked in. So Jay-Z spoke about Tony Buzbee, a.k.a. 1-800-LAWYER. And remember Jay-Z's statement? He said, I'm going to show you how different I am. Yeah. Jay-Z is showing that. Actually, in Jay-Z's lawsuit, he mentioned that he lost a potentially $20 million deal because of this lawsuit. So because Jay-Z lost that much money, if you lose any money from a frivolous lawsuit, I believe you should be able to sue the pants off somebody and sue the socks off somebody.
Agreed. Yeah, especially for the money that you lost.
I get it. People are like, yo, Jay-Z's a billionaire. It doesn't matter if he lost a $20 million deal. You don't know what that $20 million deal entailed in the long term. It was probably a signing bonus of $20 million and, whatever that case happens after the fact. But it's the fact of, you did this, you failed, you lied, and you filed a frivolous lawsuit against me. And then I will say this a lot. I got a lot of respect for Jay-Z for defending his name in the sense of, in this day and age, the lawsuit comes out and it's not I'm suing you for sexually assaulting this young when she was a young lady at the time. It's the fact of, no, I'm suing you and I'm gonna put your name next to Diddy, so it's even dirtier. Mm-hmm. I think that's the worst part about it.
Yeah, by proxy.
Yeah, by proxy, literally by proxy. And you knew it was gonna get all the headlines to the point where, like, Phil, if you go on YouTube right now and search Jay-Z's name, you'll see when this lawsuit was announced, there's some media outlets that have like 1.4, 1.5 million views on the video when the lawsuit was announced, right?
Oh.
But now that the lawsuit was dropped, you barely see 1,000 views on those videos.
Yeah, it looks almost as if Jay-Z is extremely popular.
Exactly.
And the reason why they did this is just to tarnish his name.
Exactly. And the thing is, too, Jay-Z's going to win this lawsuit versus this lawyer.
Yep. He should have that lawyer disbarred.
No, here's the thing. Jay-Z's going to win his lawsuit against this lawyer. And you know what? It's going to be a domino effect. Let me explain why, too. That lawyer is also the same lawyer from that Diddy hotline. Remember we talked about that? Mm-hmm. When he supposedly had like 100 something men, 100 something women that were suing Diddy. Mm-hmm. So if this lawsuit fell out, now it's going to be one of those situations, for lack of a better term, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to claim to be one. It's the same fruit from the forbidden tree. Yeah. Or poisonous tree, I should say.
Yeah.
So this one lawsuit was false. Who's going to say that these next couple of lawsuits, even if Diddy did those things, people are going to believe it now?
Yeah, you only hurt the real victims when you do
Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. Could you imagine if all this Diddy stuff came out and then Cassie filed her lawsuit?
Yeah, it'd be dead in the water.
No one would believe Cassie. Nope. But thank God we saw that video. Listen, I still stand.
People still didn't believe her until they saw the video.
They did it. They did not. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, Phil. I said this 100 times on this podcast, and I know I've been talking about, Diddy got off on this one too, and Diddy's like claiming now, like, look, everybody's lying on me. Listen, I still think Diddy's a piece of shit for what he did in that video to Cassie. Mm-hmm. However, if Diddy's innocent of all these sexual assault allegations, then he should be able to walk free, because that Cassie thing, unfortunately, passed the statute of limitations, yada, yada, yada. He can't go to jail for it now, right? Mm. But if he's innocent of all this other shit, I think, unfortunately, as much as it pains me to say out loud, he should be able to walk free. And Tony Buzbee is going to be the prime reason why Diddy gets to walk free. Tony Buzbee is going to be the reason why any of Diddy's actual potential victims are going to be able to look in the mirror and be like, damn, I should never pick that fucking lawyer to represent me. Mm. And it's all because of this. Shout out to Jay-Z, though, man. Jay-Z got off, I'm not going to say got off scot-free. Jay-Z ain't doing nothing wrong. He fucking do nothing wrong. So
no, they were trying to screw him.
Yeah, they're trying
to F him.
They were trying to